I'm excited to have this conversation with you and to get to know a little bit more about the work you do and kind of open up this conversation around,
Mhm.
this what folks can be doing in regards to gender-based violence and something for these 16 days of activism. So
Yes.
I'll start by just I'd love to know a little bit more about who you are and what you do and the work you do with Oasis.
Mhm. My name, you pronounce it very well. It's Dada, and my last name is Gasirabo. So I am the executive director of Oasis Centre des Femmes. Oasis is a center for women, for Francophone women in Toronto, helping women to deal with, to come out of violence against women. It started at the Sexual Assault Center, but now it's a hybrid mode with all forms of violence. And we have support service, individual support services, including counseling, transitional support worker, a program for really tailored to newcomers, immigrant and refugee women. We have a coach support program, and we have an employment preparation program. Beside those individual services, we have also uh, programs on economical development, entrepreneurship, micro lending, and a program for uh, financial security for women, because it goes together. So,
Yeah.
and then we have prevention and awareness program to work with community and to educate public education and liaise with partners. So we've been there Oasis has been there now for 26 years. So I'm the executive director for the last 12 years, but I have worked with Oasis for 23 years, almost 24. So
That's amazing.
I am a piece of Oasis.
Yes, you're a part of the foundation.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because I know we've had some conversations with people who are doing some policy work regarding gender-based violence. And then it's also really great to hear from people who are working in centers like yours, who are
Mhm.
seeing a bit more of the frontline work and seeing how some of the policy is put in action. So
Exactly.
what would you say gender-based violence advocacy and activism looks like for you based on the kind of role that you have?
Um, hmm. For me, I like the word holding space for others and for
Mhm.
ourselves. That's all about really to hold that space because we're there when they need us, and to be really a place where women can go when they need that support, when they are going through violence, when they don't know where to go. And for Francophone women in such the mainstream city here, the language is a barrier,
Mm.
newcomers. And for me, I think beyond really talking about helping, talking about it's a place where women go uh, to really take their power and
Mhm.
can continue to move on even though they are going through hell. That's the side I call like advocacy,
Mhm.
and then we come up with that voice to go help them bring that voice further. As a leader, I know I have many spaces I can go. Not every woman can go. There are women always left behind, but
Mhm.
we have to bring at a next level, not just at their level, because if a woman leave a violent situation, we all feel okay.
Yeah.
But if she's still there, and there are many who are not who don't even know our services until 10 years or more.
Right.
So we have to keep, as I told you, we have these community programs to do public awareness, public education, and that's for me an advocacy. And we cannot separate advocacy and activism. Activism is the whole lot.
Right.
Even giving services is activism.
What would you say you've noticed the impact of COVID-19 has been on people experiencing gender-based violence? And I guess some of the intersections between gender-based violence and class and race and ability.
Yeah. Oh, now it has become like our daily song to see how women have been really more at risk than anybody, even though this is during this pandemic, everybody was affected. Nobody was spared. But when you imagine gender-based violence, how women kept being abused, even though we were all in the same, I keep saying we are not all in the same boat, but we were all in the same troubled waters, but women get pushed from the boat. And that's how I see really it, because they kept being abused, even though you would never think that in a situation where we share fears, we share vulnerability, we share risks, we were going to work together. But at the same time, women were staying 24 hours with their abusers. In the what we used to call normal times, the daytime was actually like a relief, because each one would go on their occupation, kids to school, maybe home working mom would just be alone with babies or with work at home. But at this point, it was, some women would say it's a pressure cooker they are in, because they didn't even have a time to an opportunity to cry, to talk, to call the crisis line. But and again, for us at Oasis, our services have tripled our targets. So we have, I can tell, for example, the immigrants and refugee women who made about between 70 to 75% of our clientele were the most at risk. And the violence was going, not only physical violence or violence at home, but systemic violence, not knowing, being discriminated wherever they go, not being able to find a safe housing, and not knowing the language. And that intersectionality of barrier obstacles hurt really women. Then you should know that when we talk about Francophone women, it's not one group, it's international Francophonie. We came, like at Oasis, we see about women from 23 countries from the world. So Francophonie is a big in itself. And within the Francophonie, there are some other minorities. We are minorities from minority, and we have to deal with all those stemming oppression, barriers, discrimination.
The thing we've really focused on this year is digital equity and how to build capacity regarding that for our strategy workers, as well as for our internal team, to just better understand that the reality is, if people don't have access to technology in these days, like, it really is, for some people, life or death, right? Like, being able to be plugged into the world is a privilege, you know, and to be able to have that access digitally in regards to health is so vital, especially during a pandemic. And so that makes me wonder, you know, what kind of effective and safe ways do you think people who know someone who's being impacted by gender-based violence can kind of, how can they show support, especially for people who don't have easy access to technology?
The access for me was the only problem, because some people went through their system, their technology power. So we should keep an eye on that. How can we make women feel safe first, but feel also served? Because there are many women underserved. There are many women who will be left behind because they don't know. They don't have a capacity to be in the technology space. So we have again to work together to see what is there for safety for women, and how can technology be a tool of, again, advocacy and activism to claim that power we are still looking. Other than that, technology may still stay a tool for dependency, yes, but also discrimination, inequalities, and that puts more women in the situation they worse than where they were before that. So again, it's a bittersweet thing. So, but at least we saw how it can work and how it can help us reach out. As I told you, the example we used with our leaders, women leaders, they didn't use necessarily technology, but they had created their own safe ways of communicating, because among the group there were women at risk, but women held space for each other, which for us is that solidarity we have to go back to explore. If it can work better with technology, why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Dada. We really want to, thank you for being here and for having this really great conversation. I'm so happy to hear about the awesome work that you're doing and have been doing for a long time and continue to do. And
I forgot one thing, since we're talking about 16 days of activism. We have a very interesting initiative at Oasis. It's called Her Struggle, My Struggle. It's an initiative for men, allies. And since the last 3 years, those allies are the one we put ahead to organize the 16 days up to December 6th. So to involve men, to engage men, to really have a certain way of showing that the same man who led us to the December 6th is how can we educate men to really understand the privilege and to understand how they have a role in fighting, in eradicating violence against women. So this is really, I can tell that educating men is part of the struggle we have to do. Definitely. So I see the change with those men. We keep really doing, we want that impact can touch their sons, their daughters, the young men, and the men in their lives for the sake of also fighting violence against women. It's not a business of women. For us, I think as long as I am a mother of two sons, and I see the impact of being a feminist, raising feminist boys. It pays. It's for me, I say it's a return on investment, because I had to invest in those boys, so they really don't grow up macho or grow up oppressing women or comprehending really what is equality. Equality is and feminist is nothing else than equality. For me, they know, my two boys know that word since they were born. And I said, no, you don't have, yesterday I was talking with my elder son, and I said, one of the things I had returned from the feminism is that you taught me how to avoid telling whoever, you or any other woman, let me help you. Yeah, because when you are in a position of helping, you feel like superior. You feel like you're controlling. And I thought, you're not helping me, you're working with me. Let's
Right.
just do dishes together. Let's just do chores at home together, or I can do this, you can do that, but you're not helping me. We are household
Yeah.
members. And
Right.
he kept that, and he keeps really educating other people in his network, which for me is a result.